Hey, while you're here, completely off the topic now, but speaking of te tiriti, I think we here in New Zealand, and I think it's fair to look at the treaty as in sort of our founding document. It's not quite the same as the Constitution, but it often gets referred to as our founding document. And I was wondering if in America, Republicans got up and said that from now on, schools have no obligation to speak to the Constitution, how that would be received in America, because that feels like that's what they've done in New Zealand with their obligations to tiriti within schools. You've just brought up, sort of bringing the treaty into it, tiriti into it. What do you have any thoughts around that news story from yesterday around schools no longer needing to show obligations towards tiriti?
I think it's deeply problematic, right? But beyond that, I think we're in this era where the far right is just so hell bent in rewriting history and telling a history where Indigenous peoples have no place, where they want to pretend that colonial powers have been in this country since forever time, or that Indigenous people ceded sovereignty. And so I think it's like the challenge with the US is that even their own constitution in some ways was not even made with Indigenous peoples in mind. What we do have for us in our country that makes us unique is that we do have a document that guarantees sovereignty for Māori. And yeah, like I'm by no means surprised that the government is removing te tiriti in the education space, because te tiriti isn't just some sort of like culture wars item. It's a foundational document that grants sovereignty for a group of people, that also, more broadly, protects us against huge corporations that are wishing to extract resources from our natural environment. And so it's all in line with the government's agenda of selling us off to the highest bidder and taking all the profits that come with it offshore.
It is always kind of hilarious when we talk about the Constitution and all men are made equal, obviously other than Indigenous Americans, obviously other than the slaves. Let's be honest, other than the Irishmen coming across to work in places. So they always left out that little line of all sort of white men of a certain standing in society are created equal. That's kind of what it should say, but it doesn't say.